Welcome to my channel Mumus Art. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a chair with 2-point perspective. We need to start with a horizon line, and in order to make a nice horizon line you need to be sure that you are 90-degree angle to the edge of the paper. Then I decide about these vanishing points as distant as they can be, because otherwise you are going to have a very sharp angles. After that, first I'm going to draw the lower part of the chair. Yes, they are connected, but it's always a good idea to decide about the place that you can sit on it. And when you are drawing furniture, you have to pay attention to the details. In chair, many of them, of course it depends on the design, there is a wooden frame and then there is a soft part. If that is so, or if there is a two-layered thing, then you have to make that part as two. So what I do now, I'm deciding about the general length. This is something that I'm doing with my eye. If you want to draw a better one, it can be a good idea to check about the proportion of the chair and make a research a little bit. But the top part, we can say that it's like a little very narrow wooden box. Now I'm placing the soft part, which is again from the corner I start, and I'm meeting with the vanishing points. But before that I want to make the proportion. Here, the rule to 2-point perspective is that all lines need to meet either vanishing points, and all the lines that is vertical should be 90-degree angle to the horizon line. And you have to pay attention to the proportion when you are drawing a chair, because in chair you see that there are some certain centimeters, some certain rules. You don't need to make with a certain centimeter, but the legs are never very short. They are being arranged according to our sitting position. Here now I started with the corner that is close to me. After that I'm going to make a little bit thick about the legs so that you can understand much better. Here I'm making a straightforward leg, like a not a rectangular but a square. So I place exact amount to both sides. After that I'm just meeting with the vanishing point, but be careful. Many students are making a mistake. Don't make it. When it is just like one line, never meet with the vanishing point, because the place should be after this thickness. That part should be meeting with the vanishing point, because all wooden furniture are having a thickness. This is the difficult part that we remember sometimes. As you see, this first leg made the other leg about the thickness also. So I repeat, you made the thickness, I made slightly smaller than the first one, and after that I made the thickness of the first leg, and then I come from the corner, and then for the length it is being decided to the first one. About the width, it is also being decided with the first leg. And as you see here, you made it. But be careful, especially when you are drawing with perspective. You need to use your rulers in a keen way. And if you are curious about where will be the fourth one, yes, we need a fourth leg, of course. It's going to be on the intersection point of these two legs. So it is very simple. That corner is going to meet with the horizon line in 90 degree. But to show it better, I'm just going over it so that you can understand it better. When you are using these lines, make them lighter weight. I'm showing my intention is to show you. That's why I'm making them not so little. So you can start, I mean, everybody is different from the place that you see, but when you see it, it's a good idea to just continue and make that part apparent for you. Then I come and yeah, every single corner should be on the vanishing point line. So now if you can, I mean, it can be a good idea when you are able to see which part you are doing. After it is being decided, you can make it slightly bolder so that it will be easier to see. But be careful. In perspective drawing, you should be making all of them in a very careful manner and in a clear way. But when you use your ruler, always turn the ruler so that you can see where you are drawing. So I'm going one more time with a sharp angle I'm doing, and then you can also make small corrections, like I see small correction, I'm changing it. After that you can use your eraser. And then it's like the table. So the first stage is like making the table. And I'm making a very straightforward chair today. So it's easy as it gets. So I finished the first part. Now I can add the thickness again. All of them are going to the vanishing point, but if it's confusing you, don't make all the way. Just make it, and you can also erase the part that is not needed. It can help you a lot. So the first part, the lower part, is nearly finished. So you can make this part, I mean, I'm making very straightforward. If I want, I can curve them down. I can add a little detail later, but here even a slight usage of the pencil in a little bit mistaken way, you will see that it will change a thing on the top part now. So yeah, please be precise always. As you see, now you can understand how the thickness of the first leg is changing things with the other legs, and how all the legs are being decided according to the position of the first leg. Because the first leg is the place that is very close to us. Now, in general, there is a slight curve on the top part of it, but it's also, I mean, you should also be remembering that this is a continuous, complete leg. So I'm thinking about making a slightly bended top part. So I start with the thickness. You can make it as parallel like this, and you have to come to the corner. I think I made a mistake like 1 millimeter purposefully so that you can understand it's changing. Or by the way, if you don't have too much equipment, you can just apply the same measurements all the way and you can make a parallel line again. But that part was a little bit vague. That's why it is really important to make it precise. You can arrange it according to leg. This is another method. Make a solid ruler, use in the same angle, then you move it, slide it. But the main idea is these should be parallel. If there is any curve, that is the reason that I especially wanted to show you. That's why like if there is any curve, if there is any line like that, you have to make it with all three methods. All of them are working. If you have a special table, you can also arrange with your rulers. Make one ruler like your T ruler there and slide the other one. So basically, now I'm going for the frame of the lower top part. Yes. And my advice for everybody who wants to draw with perspective is that try to check with some objects like you can find in IKEA's page because they are straightforward. Find some rectangular, easily understandable objects and open their pictures, and then for the details use them so that you can understand all these thicknesses much better. So I start as if the first leg, this one, and then the other one comes along with that first. So for the back part, this is the corner that is close to me. So I start with the one that is on the right, and the leg is being defined accordingly. And yeah, you can make the thickness as I did with the legs. And then about the separation. Now, you have to have some thickness, but that depends on what you want. Anyway, it can be a good idea to erase the unnecessary parts because sometimes it starts to get really confusing for us. And you can clean it all the way. And every time you never make sluggish work, you always need to check, and even for the smallest corners you have to use these vanishing points, and erasing like this is helping a lot. After that I will stop when I come all the way, and then I will meet this point with the other vanishing point because it is on, if any object is above the horizon line, I can see the lower part of it. Now I'm able to see that one much better. If you want to make equal, please measure them from the right angle. Now I'm just thinking about proportion wise, like what I want, and I'm deciding accordingly. But in any case, it can be a good idea, like, or either if you make it with your own eyes like me, still after that you can measure it like this. Because if you don't have a trained eye, there is a big possibility that you can make crooked lines there. Because these are man-made, we generally make these type of things in the same equal distance. But be careful from where to where you are measuring, and then apply in the same way. And the thicknesses should be the same as well. So I'm meeting from the right corner, and then I stop there. Then to show the lower part, I come, and then I meet this point to the vanishing point. This way, it is totally correct. And you can measure another one if you like. Or you can just divide that part into 3 and then work on it. I don't like to deal with too many calculations when I'm making drafts. But if I already decided, it's a good idea to divide the top part first. And then you still can see a little bit of the lower part, but not that much. After that, you can always make some light and shadow to one side, which is going to make your drawing much more better. I'm using this blender. It is easy, but my main idea is to make it a fast video. So if you don't want, and if you want to do only by your hand, it's a better idea. I'm just trying to show how important is the light and shadow and how much value do they give for the drawing. And whenever necessary, you may want to go over them, make it cleaner. You can use art liners, and then you can play a little bit of light and shadow trick, and you are going to have like little bit of softness. But whatever you do, it will help you to have a better understood chair at the end. And then it's going to look much more three-dimensional, and it will turn into a form. It's no longer just a shape anymore. It looks like a form. And we can see that you can also make some differentiation between the, like as if there are different textures. And here we have the chair. Thank you for watching.